Welcome back to the week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a guest on from the Troup County Active Adult Life Center. I have on the director, Dan Wooten. Dan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alton. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, you know what? I need to come out to visit the Active Adult Life members again because it's been a while since I've been out there, but I did have an opportunity to come out there last week and I saw some horrendous, I guess would be a good word to describe the costumes and things that I saw. We just celebrated Halloween, and I acted as a judge. I don't know how well I was, but we judged some costumes out there. Talk about the event that took place out there, Dan.
Well, I wanted to thank you and Philip for coming out and judging that contest. It's a difficult task to do, is to choose between such creative costumes. And over the years, we've had a costume contest on Halloween, and it's been amazing to me the creativity that our participants put into dressing up. So hats off to you. Y'all made some good decisions, so thank you again for being there. And so we come up with great contests or activities that really draws the best out of our participants, and that's one of the events that is quite special to us at the Active Life.
Well, you know, I think if Michael had to redo his Thriller album, he could have really found some costumes and some new characters out there. So it was a pleasure to be out there. Now, Dan, and then you're the director there at the Active Adult Life Center. Talk a little bit about the Active Adult Life Center.
Sure.
Then we're going to talk about some of the programs that you all have coming up.
Okay. The Active Life Recreation Center is a recreation center for adults 55 plus. We are a place that people can come and go and receive recreation that I believe helps them be more active and ultimately improves their wellness and well-being. We have a threefold purpose at the Active Life, and that is we want to improve the quality of life, we want to keep people independent and out of nursing care as long as possible, and as much as we can control, we want to help them to live longer. And so with that threefold purpose, everything we do there is centered around helping our older adult population in LaGrange and Troup County experience good living and active living. So we have abundance of programs and activities that they can participate in, come and go as they like.
Well, very good. You know, one of the things you said there, keeping them out of the nursing homes and things of that nature, keeping them active. And I know that my next door neighbor, I think you know Doris Purley.
Yes.
She conducts an aerobics class.
Yes.
There. Talk about that.
Fitness is a key component to us achieving the three goals that we talked about. So we have one building that's dedicated to wellness. We call it the Wellness Center, or the Wellness Building. And we have all types of low-impact exercise classes they can participate in that will help them improve their health. And we found out that people that participate in these activities find that they're able to do their daily chores with more ease. They're able to even do things they weren't able to before when they begin to participate. Most of these recreation fitness classes are free. Some do have a fee when we have to pay the instructor. But we have a low-impact chair aerobics class every day of the week. We have a morning stretch on Monday and Fridays. We have a Tai Chi class. We have a fitness machine room that they can come to any day, and we have about 10 pieces of equipment they can work out, again, at no cost to them. And so they can come and participate and see an improvement in their well-being through these classes. We also have dance classes, and again, that's a fun way to exercise. You almost forget you're exercising, but we've got square dancing and line dancing and ballroom dancing. We've got a country music dance that we host there also. And so it's just a fun way to keep well and fit, and we provide that for our older adults.
Very good. And it sounds like you have a number of things going on there at the center at any given time. Now let me ask you a little bit about transportation. And I know once upon a time there was the Troup Transit, I think, that would go around and pick the active adult individual.
Yes,
is that still available?
Yes, Troup Transit is a vital part of our program. Most of the participants drive themselves, but there comes a time that someone would have to give up their license, or they don't own a car. And for those people that live in LaGrange and surrounding areas, we have Troop Transit that provides free transportation to them to and from the center. So it's a wonderful thing, and a number of people participate in that, and we're excited that they're able to be there, because they would not be able to come, many of them, if it wasn't for Troop Transit.
Well, very good. Now, let me ask you, Dan, on an average, how many active adults do you see come through the center on
Well, if we looked at people that are active members of the center, we're talking about over 800 people. In a day's time, we probably have 200 to 250 people that come and go in the daytime. We have about 100 to 120 people that stay for lunch. So as I mentioned before, people can come and go. Some come for specific activities, and others stay for the whole day. So it's completely up to the person what they would like to participate in any particular day.
Well, I've been out there on a number of occasions. I've seen, the card games and the stay for the lunch, of course. And I noticed there was a couple of years ago, I think it was, maybe a year or so ago, that I think a group from the Active Center did a quilt for cancer. I think
yes.
Talk about that.
Our arts and crafts room, it amazes me the amount of time that they spend on charity projects. And as we believe that part of healthy living at any age, but especially for us working for those 55 and older, is people that give back, that help others, that serve. We found that the happiest people are those that are able to help others. Instead of someone that's just focused on themselves, they care about other people. And so that's an example, our craft room, and especially as we think of our golden so-and-sos, that's what they call themselves, our quilting group. They just recently have done 3 or 4 quilts that they have donated to other organizations to raise funds. The United Way of West Georgia, which we're an agency of the United Way, but the ladies made a beautiful quilt that was able to be sold at a silent auction that raised funds for the United Way. They also have completed a quilt for Breast Friends for Life, which is a cancer support group, and beautiful pink quilt that was displayed. They've made a quilt for the Shriners. They've made a quilt for a support group for people that are affected by violent crimes, and so over and over they're looking for ways to make a difference in people's lives, and they use their talents of quilting or crocheting and knitting or scrapbooking to help other people, and it is quite an amazing thing to see, because I have no talent in that area. And I just am blown away with how beautiful these handmade items. And in some ways that seems to be a lost art.
Right.
But I see a resurgence. I see baby boomers that are retiring that want to be able to learn how to crochet and knit and quilt and do those crafts. So our craft room is booming. So we haven't seen a decline in interest, but it seems that way with people with busy schedules, don't sew anymore and all. But when they retire, they can come to the active life and learn those creative skills.
Once again, I remember my grandmother thinking back to the quilt making. I can remember her making the quilts and how she would just cut out the pattern, and she got one of the old paddle wheel sewing machines that you would have to pump with your feet. And I can remember sitting there watching them like, what is this going to be? And then once it's all done, you're like, oh my goodness, that thing, it really came together.
It is amazing.
It is. Now, you were talking, a number of things going on there, but we want to talk a little bit before we go to a break here. I know that there's some things that are coming up that you need the active adults to be familiar with, and there's some open enrollment things that are coming up.
Right.
Medicare Part D. Talk about that.
Yes. We partnered with Georgia Cares, which is funded through the state of Georgia. It provides educational, unbiased information to older adults making a decision regarding Medicare Part D, and that's the drug benefit, and that's to make a decision, which drug plan, because there's many to choose from, and everybody has a different situation. Well, we have a volunteer at the Active Life that works along with Georgia Cares, and she'll sit down with that person, and using a Medicare program, they're able to tell the person the top 3 choices that they could make that would be best according to what medications they take now, or what their situation is as far as how much of a copay, and it's just a wonderful service that we provide. But there's some dates related to that.
Okay.
Coming up very soon. November the 9th is the cutoff if a person is a state health retiree.
Okay.
But for everyone else that's on Medicare, it's December the 7th is the end of enrollment. So a person could come by the Active Life. We'll partner them up with this volunteer, or give them the number if they prefer. They can call at home to Georgia Cares and be able to get, again, that unbiased. So oftentimes, if they go to a salesperson, that person is going to be trying to sell their product.
That's right.
And that's nothing wrong with that, but this will provide them with several choices, and they can look at the pros and cons of each one of those choices and make a wise decision.
Okay, very good. Now, do they have to be a member of the center to come by and get it?
No.
Okay.
And that's one thing I'd like to clarify with everybody, Alton, and that is we serve everybody 55 plus. And so whether they're a member or not, they can come there. Now, there are some things that they may be required to sign up for if they participate in some of our activities. But for the most part, a person can come there and jump right in and be a part of things. And so we invite anybody, any independent older adult, to come see us, because we have many resources available to them that we would like to make them aware of, and we hope that they'll come check us out.
Okay.
I'll give them a deluxe tour if they stop by.
Well, I tell you one thing, the lunch always gets me that day, and so you tell me I got lunch, I'm coming, okay?
That's right.
I tell you what we're going to do, Dan. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back, because there's a couple other things that we want to talk about that's going on there at the center that you want to get the word out about. So let's take a quick commercial break and come right back, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back with more City Week in just a moment.
Hi, we're here today with Debbie Barrington and her daughter Brittany at Cakes by Debbie, and they're located on Lafayette Square in downtown LaGrange. And I just wanted to welcome you to meet the merchant and find out how long you've been in business as Cakes by Debbie.
We've been in business for about 30 years, almost 30 years, but we've been in LaGrange a little over 5.
Okay, and how long have you been in this location?
This
on the
location
square?
we've been 2.5 years.
Well, we are so thrilled to have you here. It's just a great addition to our downtown, and wonderful to be able to come and get fresh baked cookies and cupcakes and cheese straws too. Those
Yes.
are some of my favorites. So,
Yes.
Just wanted to see if you could tell us about some of the specialty items that you make here too.
I'll let Brittany tell about those.
Okay.
She works at the front a lot more than I do. I do a lot of the baking, and
We have great gourmet cupcakes and a lot of different flavors. Cheese straws are our most popular thing that we have. Everybody likes the sugar cookies that we
yes.
do. Our pound cake, we do that by the slice, and we have run out of that every single day.
Now, if somebody wants to buy a whole pound cake, can they do that
Yes.
too? Okay.
Yes. And we sell our cakes that are famous from the Drop Dead Diva show.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'll let
Debbie?
yeah, we were just contacted by the Drop Dead Diva people to come up with a dessert that they could use on their show, which airs actually July through September, and they tape February through July.
Okay.
So they tape at the beginning of the year. So we had to come up at the beginning of last year. They gave us like a couple of weeks, and so we came up with the cake.
So that was
And-
like your total
Yeah,
idea, your total
right,
creation.
right.
That's
And
wonderful.
So they actually open a bakery on the show. Stacy does on the show. So we create all the cakes and take them to the show when they're taping, and
About how
set up
many
the
do you
shop.
have to create for the show? For
Eh,
each
when the days that we tape, we have to do about 80.
Oh my
at a
gosh, you're
time.
kidding! And are
So-
they real? Or are they
Oh
like
yeah,
prop
they're
ones?
all edible, because
Oh.
when we go in, the crew fight over which ones they're going to get
Are you serious?
after that taping of that day.
Oh, that is
and
so-
actually, they actually eat some of them in the show.
Okay, and then I've noticed that you have added those to
Yes.
your offerings here,
Yes.
so
We
people in
actually-
LaGrange can add. You have a bakery here now.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we trademark it. It's our trademark.
That's wonderful. That is really interesting. So, can you tell us what your business hours are?
We're open from Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 5, Saturdays
Okay.
9 to 1.
9 to 1 on Saturday. Okay. I've noticed that you're offering some new items now on your menu. So, could you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, we're starting our casseroles to go, and you can come call us ahead. We prefer you can come in and see what we have available that day, but we have ready-made casseroles that you can purchase, take home, and in 30, 45 minutes you can have dinner on the table.
Okay. Are they frozen or are they just refrigerated?
They're frozen
Okay.
and refrigerated, some
Okay.
of them.
Okay.
And then we'll be serving them. Every day we'll have a casserole of the day, and we'll also will be doing soups of the day, so you can actually come in and eat too.
Okay.
And that way get a chance to sample some of them. And then you might want to order one for dinner that night.
That is wonderful. So somebody could come here for lunch, get some dessert, get their casserole or get a soup, and
Yep.
then also get something to take home for dinner too.
Yes.
That is great. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you spending time with us this morning and talking to us about Cakes by Debbie.
Well, thank you.
Welcome back to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. We're sitting down today with Dan Wooten, the director of the Active Life Center on Raglan Street there. And Dan, we finished up a moment ago. We were talking about Medicare Part D and the open enrollment. And that's going to be November the 9th through December the 7th. Just kind of finish up if you don't mind on that.
Oh, okay. Well, I was saying there are two groups of people. There are state retirees, and their deadline is November the 9th. For the rest of the Medicare Part D enrollees, then it's December the 7th is their deadline. So the enrollment period is open now, and they can enroll and make changes. And that's something that they need to look at each year, because some of the premiums for their plan change, and they need to evaluate, is it still the best plan? Just because they're signed up with it now does not mean they should continue.
Okay.
And that's what we can do. We can help them to compare their plans and make a wise decision.
Very good. You know, it's so important that, when, it's like insurance. You need it when you need it, right?
Yes.
So you definitely want to have that plan in place and
Yes.
have it the best plan possible for you.
One other thing to mention, Alton, on that, because some people think when they get Medicare, they think, well, I'm healthy and I don't take medicine or prescriptions. And so they make the mistake of not enrolling in that Medicare Part D plan. Well, if 5 years, 10 years down the road, you realize you need to be on that plan, you will be penalized because you did not enroll right at the beginning.
Oh.
So people need to understand, even if they're healthy now, they need to enroll in that, because they will be penalized. And I can guarantee most everybody will eventually have to be on medicines, and those medicines are not inexpensive.
Absolutely.
Some of them it'll blow your mind how expensive some
Absolutely.
of these wonder drugs are that they need to take to keep going.
Very good point, Dan. Hopefully our active adults will take heed to that warning and come on out, Dan.
Okay.
Well, Dan, I want to jump back into just a couple of things, because I want to end up talking about expansion of
Okay.
the area there. Number of programs, workout facility, number one. Talk a little bit about that for us.
Yes, I mentioned earlier we have a workout room with about 10 different machines. We have treadmills, we have recumbent bikes, this new step machine, which is very popular and helpful for people of all abilities. And it's a sit-down machine that you use your arms and your legs, and it's adjustable. I'd highly recommend that. We have a stationary bike. We have some elliptical trainers in this room also. And so somebody could come. It's open from 8 to 2 each day, and they can work out. There's no cost. It's, again, for anybody 55 and older. We will help them with the machines, especially the treadmills. I like to walk them through, because that's a machine that somebody could actually hurt themselves on if they're not familiar with our particular treadmills. And so we'll do a little 5-minute training session on that. And once they've done that, they're ready to go.
Well, very good. You know, again, you have so many things there. And one of the things, dancing. I understand there's some dancing. You mentioned a moment ago.
Well, I
about
talked
dancing.
about the different kind of dances, and again, it's a fun way that on Tuesday nights we have the square dancing. It's the shuffler square dancing, and they just have a wonderful time together, laughing and fellowshipping together, and having some of the most tremendous exercise. That, you know, it's one of those disguised exercise programs, and they come away feeling better and healthier. And I mentioned also a country music dance. We have a live band that comes in on the 3rd Saturday of each month. It's our country music dance, and they do a wonderful job of entertaining anybody. In fact, that activity is open to any adult. And it's the 3rd Saturday of each month in our wellness center, and they come $5 cover charge to come in and just have a wonderful time at the Active Life on that evening.
And you know, Dan, I've been out there, as I again stated a number of times, and you know, in the wellness center, I know that there's a phenomenon that is caught on, and I think you guys play against people from around the world.
The Wii Bowling,
game, right?
Yes, it's Wii Bowling has taken off ever since we built the Wellness Center about 3 years ago. We put in Wii units, consoles, and we have a total of 4 right now. And some of these teams over the years have come better and better, and we have one team that is ranked 2nd in the nation.
Oh my!
And we just recently came back from Denver, Colorado, where they competed, and we're got the 2nd place of the whole nation of over 1,000 different older adult bowlers. Wii bowlers. And
very good. I mean, you know, the day that I was out there, I mean, they get into it, and they're very serious about it as well.
Yes.
And you know, you talked about something that leads me to my next point, Dan. You say you all just returned from Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
The active adults also take trips. Talk about that as well.
We travel all around. We just recently got back from North Georgia for a trip to Helen and to LaGrange to get apples and bring back. We took 2 bus loads to that trip. We have taken a trip to Stone Mountain Park recently, to Indian Powwow. And so we're constantly taking day trips. We take about 2 to 3 day trips a month. And last month we went to Tennessee, to the Tennessee Aquarium, and took a river cruise up the Tennessee River. Beautiful, just a wonderful time. So we go within a radius where we could leave in the morning and come back before night for our day trips. We also take about 3 to 4 multi-day trips. We recently took a trip to Amelia Island in Savannah. That was a 4-day, 3-night trip. We have all kind of exciting trips. We've got a trip planned for Ireland coming up in March. And so travel, we found out that travel, again, is an opportunity for people to stay active, to challenge their minds, to challenge their bodies. There's a lot of walking that's often involved with these day trips and these multi-day trips. And so it's a way to stay active, and something about traveling that just inspires the soul.
Absolutely.
And so we enjoy that and offer that. And we do it at minimal prices. We're blessed to have buses that we have here in our community that we utilize for the day trips.
Well, very good. And you know, I know some of the people that go on the trips, and they talk about what a wonderful time they had during those excursions out and about. A couple things I want to talk about, Dan, before we get ready to close up, because we're talking about trips and all programs that you all are offering. I know that, you know, some years ago you all did the Wellness Center. And I understand that you all have a benefit concert that's coming up to help to acquire some additional properties.
Yes.
Talk about that for us, Dan.
Well, we have a very talented musician, Dr. Hank Avera, who's a member of our center and just a wonderful singing voice and piano player. And he is providing a special benefit concert at the Active Life coming up on Friday the 16th at 7 p.m. and it's free to attend. And so it's open to the public, and it's a chance they could come and enjoy a short evening of wonderful music. Him and his family will be playing and singing for us, and there'll be an opportunity if someone would like to make a donation to our expansion plans. We are in the midst of fundraising. We hope to be able to raise enough money to purchase some land that's adjacent to our current campus. And this would allow us to expand and build a walking trail, a bike trail, a bike barn that people could check out for free, a bike or a trike to ride around our trails, exercise stations along this nature trail, eventually a building that would hopefully contain an indoor water aerobics pool and more multi-purpose meeting space and all. So our population is growing older, and we feel like we're at a crossroads that we've got to seize the opportunity to prepare for our aging population and our growing older adult population. We found the statistics are this: each day up to 10,000 American baby boomers are turning 65 each day for up to the next 16 years.
Oh my.
So it's an amazing thing, and we're seeing that in our community in Troup County and LaGrange, is that the population is shifting older, and we really want to be prepared to serve and meet the needs of our population. And so this is an opportunity. We've just started fundraising. Phase one is we're trying to raise $50,000, and that's the seniors themselves raising that. We're up to $26,000, and so after that, then we'll turn to the city and the county and the foundations to see if they could help us also to get to what we need to be able to hopefully purchase the land beside us.
Very good. And I understand there's about 8 acres there that you all are looking
Yes.
at then, and the seniors themselves already have raised $26,000
Yes,
of the $50,000.
yes, they've worked so hard and
very good.
just done a beautiful job. And there's a quilt I'll mention that we talked earlier about our arts and crafts group. The Golden So-and-Sos have made this beautiful quilt that we're raffling off, and we'll be drawing at the end of the week to find out who will win that beautiful quilt.
Well, very good. I'm going to have to get me a raffle ticket as well, Dan. Now, Dan, as we get ready to close out, and I just, and I'm sitting here and I'm talking with you, and I just see the passion and the concern and the care. And I just got to ask the question, why do you do this?
Wow, good question. To be honest with you, Alton, I think that God has put a love in my heart for people, especially for older adults, and it just inspires me to be able to help other people. And opportunity 14 and a half years ago came to be a part of the Active Life, our senior center in LaGrange, and I enjoy it. I love it. It's hard to describe how exciting it is to be able to help other people and see the difference you're able to make on a day-to-day basis. So I love being around these people. They're some of the sweetest, kindest, loving people, and I really believe I've got about the best job in LaGrange.
I must agree with you, Dan. I've been out there on a number of times, and just to see, in the, I guess, the multi-purpose room, the active adults, moving about and how you can kind of control them and quiet them down and everything, because I guess they can be like younger folks sometimes too. They get around and want to get them rambunctious, I guess. Well, Dan, I must agree, you have the best job. And you do a wonderful job there, and I know that the fundraising event will go as well, and then you will be seeing that expansion coming along very soon.
Well, thank you, Alton. I just want to say I appreciate you and all you do to communicate what's happening in our community. Thank you for all you do. Thank
you too, Dan. I want to thanks again for coming on the show and sharing all this information. And again, I had a great time out at the costume judge. Well, thank you very much. Okay.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been Dan Wooten, the director for the Active Adult Life Center on Raglan Street. He talked about an upcoming fundraising event that the community can come out and be a part of. So ladies and gentlemen, come on out and help support our active adults. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me for City Week this week. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.